If you trawl back a few videos on the channel, you will see two videos where I've got the Keltec CMR, the 22WMR carbine. I was trying to think of the name of it then. The CMR. So this thing is very, very cool. I did a range time video on this and I did a full review. Absolutely loved it. Really, really fun rifle. It is a rifle, by the way. This is the Mark II, in fact, the UK spec. So the Mark I that I had a muzzle brake on the end of it to give you its overall length, and basically the stock collapsed all the way. But this one basically has a threaded barrel now, and because of that, then there's no muzzle brake. The overall length and the UK spec, it has to basically, maintain that overall length. So that's why the stock doesn't collapse all the way. So that's kind of making up for the loss of muzzle brake. So, but anyway, I digress. A very, very cool Keltec that has been on the channel, but it gets better. And oh my God, I've had even more fun with the Keltec CP33 long barrel pistol. Yeah, if you are watching in another country other than the UK, you'll be like, what the hell is going on there with that barrel and that thing sticking out the back? Well, I'm not going to say silly UK law. I'm just going to say UK laws specify that a pistol that is semi-automatic has to have an overall length of 600 millimeters, hence the length of this pistol. So you know as well as I do that Mr. Bad Person, if he gets his hands on one of these, God forbid, will most probably cut it down to normal length, because he's breaking the law anyway if he's got hold of one of these, unlawfully. But anyway, that's another story. But the Keltec CMR, what a cool gun. What a cool gun. Let's put that out of the way. This is the CP33. CP standing for competition pistol. Okay, 33 meaning that it will hold 33 rounds in the magazine. This is a quad stack magazine. And although it's a bit laborious to load it up, and you can get loaders for them, which I wish I'd had for this review and while out testing this pistol, would make life a lot easier and save on the thumb when you're just pushing the rounds in. But a very reliable magazine as long as you load it correctly. What a very cool pistol. In fact, I'm going to go as far as to say this is probably my favourite long barrel pistol that I have tested to date. Yeah, it is. I've had so much fun with this. I love the look of it. Would I use it as a competition pistol? Now, before we get into the review, someone did comment on a post that I put on social media, wanting to know how fast would it be to draw it out of a holster and this, that and the other. And this was a UK guy that had sort of asked this question. Well, to be fair, if you want to, I'm not teaching anyone how to suck eggs, and I am by no means a competition shooter. Don't get me wrong, I've shot a lot, and I mean a lot of normal size pistols, in various countries. Would I really use this as a competition pistol for speed? No. Why? Because, well, look at it for a start. It's not exactly the sleekest. It's not really built for speed, I don't think. Yeah, and with a heel release magazine that doesn't drop out because friction holds that magazine in, it's not a pistol built for speed. So I think speed type competitions, it probably not that gun for you for speed style shooting, as in where you've got to do fast reloads and that, like Speed Steel, for example. I'd tend to go for something like what was it? It's like that that CZ Shadow clone that I reviewed, that would be more in fitting as a, you know, as a competition gun, or maybe like a Walther PPQ, you know, sleek, lightweight. This is a little bit more bulky, you know. Competition shooting, definitely, just probably not for speed. I mean, look at it. It's pretty obvious, isn't it, really? Look at the bulk of it compared to something like a PPQ. And like I said, the friction that is holding the magazine in, you know, it's not like a conventional, I say a conventional pistol where you've got the button release here to drop the mag out and you can just drop one in. It's not going to work like that, okay? Right then, so the Keltec CMR, that's the CMR that I've put over there. Oh, it's confusing me. Let's get rid of the CMR. It's kind of like, well, while we've got it, it's very similar, as you can see. It's almost, well, it is the pistol version of this. The lower is the same. It's just obviously, you know, this upper that is obviously longer, and this one is obviously 22 WMR, whereas this is 22 LR. But everything else is very much the same. Obviously, charging is done via these handles, ambidextrous charging. Oh, there's the mag, keeps dropping out. Ambidextrous charging on the CMR, whereas on the CP33, it's like this. You've got this. It's kind of like a T-bar, kind of like an AR T-bar, if you like. Although it's not really a T-bar, it's more of a U-bar. So that's how it sort of cocks. Right, let's move the CMR because that's just confusing me and it don't take much. So overall length of the CP33 is UK spec. Okay, so let's measure it. It's going to be 600. It's just about 600. Well, it is if you measure it. So basically like that and draw a line down there, it is 600 mil. Okay, the barrel on this is 300 mil UK spec. Okay, it's going to be a little bit heavier than the specs that you'll find on Keltec's website. So it's saying 1.5 pounds. It's going to be a little bit heavier than that, hence this barrel, you know, it's twice as long the barrel is as the conventional, you know, normal Keltec CP33, but they've done a nice job of this. So the bar at the back is carbon fiber, which is super light, and do you know what, you don't even notice it, and it's been done right. Look at the heel there. It's not just like bonded on with some glue, you know, as like a last minute thing almost. This has been done properly. That's been properly made, you know, not sort of real crappy 3D printed or anything like that. It feels really good. That has been purpose made for this little pistol. Very, very cool indeed. And it sort of gives it a flared magwell as well. So, but let's talk about the mags. I have briefly sort of mentioned them. 33 rounders, hence the CP33. Quad stack magazines. Reliable as long as you load them up correctly. After a bit, your fingers will get sore through loading these, and trust me, you'll spend more time loading this gun than you will shooting it. So yeah, pretty reliable. I had a couple of hiccups with just, you know, it's 22LR at the end of the day. There is not a 22LR that is 100% reliable. So as this was getting dirty, it did choke up a couple of times, but I think, you know, gave it a clean and that was it. It was fine. It was good to go again. Let's give you a look down there. So there's the magwell. Okay, Keltec's very familiar. Texturing on the pistol grip. Okay, very ambidextrous pistol. There is your safety catch either side. There is your bolt release button, just like on a normal pistol. Okay, so that closes it up. So, and obviously holds it open. It will hold open on the last shot or after the last shot on the magazine as well. Okay, Picatinny rail all along the top. You have some very, very effective fibre optic sights. There's your rear, there's your front. Obviously it's begging to have like a red dot thrown on it for absolute sure. I'd say that this pistol it reminds me of a Ruger 1022. So obviously it works on a blowback. It's got a bar. I think I've not stripped it down, but it is very Ruger 1022 how it works. Hence you've got to keep it clean, else it will, you know, choke up a little bit. It ain't the cleanest at the minute. And this, by the way, is very, very kindly on loan from Caliber Innovations here in the UK. I have had one of two guns of those guys in the past. So it's really cool that they've lent me this, and they've lent me this one as well, which is very, very good of them. So check out Caliber Innovations if you are interested in one of these. There is an M-lock slot at the bottom, and that is a true M-lock as well because it's got the logo there. So you've got an M-lock slot to throw on a piece of rail on the bottom. But what a cool looking pistol. Let me show you the other side. Isn't that cool? All the lower is polymer, real tough polymer, and then all this bit obviously is metal, the upper, and that bit is, oh, that's polymer as well there. But look at the size of the barrel. That ain't no drinking straw barrel like you get on some long barrel pistols that I've seen in the past. No barrel tensioner needed to straighten the barrel either, which I've seen on other long barrel pistols. Yeah, that is one solid, heavy, chunky barrel. I'd be happy with a barrel like that on a rifle, on a 22LR rifle. It is a nice, thick, heavy barrel. Okay. Very, very well made. I know it's a few Keltec videos. Some people are like, you know, iffy about the quality, but because we don't have a vast amount of long barrel pistols here in the UK, I think this is as good as most. In fact, better than most, the quality of this pistol. I really do. And I think I've just about used them all. And I've been really, really impressed with this little gun. It has been so cool to shoot. So yeah, very, very cool indeed. I have got a target actually. Oh, and I used. I've not written it down what I put through this, but I did use a variety of ammo. And it was grouping pretty much the same. This was at about 15 yards, something like that. Freehand, 5 shots in each target. What did I use? I used CCI. I used Blazer. Oh God, Rack, you failed. You've not marked your target. I know. I'm pretty sure that the first two were Blazer, and then I think I used some CCI, and I used some SK. I think I might have done another target, but I think that's pretty much just like most. I'll throw in some sort of B-roll footage, but most ammo it performed the same. Shooting this sort of two-handed, with me shooting as well. You know. Take that into consideration. And interestingly, I do actually shoot pistol right-handed, so I do shoot pistol normally. Okay, but no, that's not a bad group. So yeah, pretty good. But yeah, the CP33 from Keltec, very, very cool. If you want something a little bit different, especially here in the UK, that you know. Just looks very, very cool with a high capacity magazine, then and a heavy barrel, a decent heavy barrel. I mean, that's where all the weight is on this gun. All the weight is in the barrel, so that's not a bad thing either. You know, reliability wise, just like any normal sort of blowback 22LR. When it started to get dirty, I was starting to have the odd issue. Using decent 40 grain ammo, it ran perfectly fine. I did chuck some subsonic ammo through this as well. and it ran fine. And I did actually run it suppressed as well, and it worked fine. And it was super quiet as well, using the suppressor on the end. In fact, I did use, where is it? I did use this SAC moderator, just a cheap SAC moderator on it, and it worked really well. It was so cool, so cool. Just a real fun little pistol that'll bring a smile to your face. Very, very, very cool indeed. Shall we give the trigger a pull? Because someone's going to be like, what sort of trigger has it got in it? Well, it's got one that when you pull it, it goes bang. It's one of them triggers. Right, so I am putting a snap cap in here because I don't like firing rim fires without you know, something inside, just to make sure that firing pin doesn't hit the wall of the barrel. So that's chambered. Let's give it a pull. Get my trusty trigger pull gauge here. Right, let's give it a pull. Kind of like a 2-stage. 3 pounds 6 ounces. Okay, I'm going to remind myself of that. It does eject pretty well as well. Let's give it another one. Can I top load this pistol? I think I can. Let me remind myself. Yeah, it's a decent trigger. Decent trigger. It does need a clean though. Okay. So yeah, the Keltec CP33 gets an absolute thumbs up from the Rackster. One of my favourite 212R long barrel pistols to date. It's just very, very nice indeed. Ergonomic, ambidextrous, plenty of Picatinny rail, decent sights, a heavy barrel. That is a winner. That is a winner. I mean, ignore my target. You'll probably do way better. You know, do some serious, long range. Do some serious, match shooting. Put some real decent ammo through this, and do your bit behind the trigger, and you'll get some nice groups with this. You could even use this as a proper target pistol. I think it's by the time you've you maybe, well, depends what sights you put on, but I think it'd be a good target competition shooting pistol. Like I said, probably not for the speed type shooting, where you've got to take it out of a holster. I think it's a little bit bulky for that, and if you've got to do mag changes as well, I think the heel release and the fact that friction holds that magazine in, look, I mean, it's halfway out, then I think that would be a bit of a no-go for a competition gun that requires speed and reloading at a fast pace. But anyway, the Keltec CP33, I like it a lot. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. That is Racknload. See ya.